Good afternoon. My name is Alex Hartmann, and for my video presentation, I am doing crew resource management. So what will we be discussing today? I'm going to give an intro video to what CRM is, then I'll discuss it more in the next slide called What is Crew Resource Management. I'll go over the history of CRM briefly. I'll go over the 5-step assertive process that pilots use when they're using CRM, the pillars of CRM, so to speak, the foundations of it, and how it helps us, why it's important, how it's helped aviation, and a conclusion. So this is an intro video to crew resource management. This came from the medical field, but you still apply it to aviation. We'll go to that video now.
Resource management began in the 1980s in the military, looking at helicopters landing on aircraft carriers. What they learned was the importance of empowering even the lowest person on the totem pole to call off an aircraft landing, because often it's that individual that understands the risks involved. In medicine, we have oftentimes relied on the physician as the sole captain of the ship in the decision making. And the ancillary personnel, nurses, medical assistants, residents, medical students, haven't always felt comfortable raising questions as to why a particular path has been chosen for a patient. It is crew resource management that empowers people to learn how to ask the questions in a comfortable way and have the more senior physicians be comfortable answering those questions. If this type of communication is done in a respectful manner, it's a win-win situation for everyone involved. Crew resource management involves essentially 5 steps. The first step is asking for relevant information. So, for example, if there is an abnormal vital sign, you are now aware of that vital sign. Blood pressure was 160/110. The second element is learning to offer relevant information. As a nurse, if you take vital signs, you cannot assume that I am just going to look at the vital sign sheet and understand that the blood pressure was 160/110. As a team member, it's your responsibility to offer that information. From there, we develop what's called a shared mental model. A shared mental model is when we're on both the same page. I understand the blood pressure is elevated, and I give you an order to give the patient a medication to treat that elevation of blood pressure. Number 4 is advocacy. If, as the nurse, you now understand that the patient has an allergy to the medication that I have now asked you to deliver, and I have forgotten that the patient has that allergy, you must advocate for patient safety. And you must remind me, oh, Dr. Mann, do you remember this patient has an allergy to lisinopril or labetalol or whatever the medication is? And then number 5, if I have a disagreement in the discussion, that we get to a place in conflict resolution, which is the 5th stage, where if there's a conflict and we can't get on the same sheet of music or shared mental model, that we are able to constructively resolve our differences.
Alright, so that's the intro video of the CRM and how we can apply it to aviation. We'll start right here. So what is crew resource management? Its official definition is the effective use of all resources for flight crew personnel to assure a safe and efficient operation, help reduce error, avoid stress, and increase efficiency. But in layman's terms, is using all tools available to make the flight as easy and efficient as possible, especially other personnel. And other personnel could include another pilot, a flight attendant, or a mechanic. Within crew's CRM, it allows junior/subordinate personnel to speak up and contribute to flight safety and decision making. And it emphasizes that just because the captain is at the top, he isn't always right 100% of the time. So we'll go over the history of CRM briefly. The lady in the video said it started from the military. That was the military side of things. This is from the civilian side. It started as a NASA workshop in 1979 when NASA was investigating transport category aircraft crashes. They found human error was at fault due to a breakdown of communication in the cockpit. and that included professional communication, good aeronautical decision making, and leadership. And it was determined that captains were acting too authoritatively, and what they said went, so their word was law, and they treated junior personnel like trash. So CRM brought a revolution in cockpit behavior, and mainly three main changes. It basically told authoritative captains to cool their heads or be fired. It allowed junior personnel, mainly the first officer, to speak up when something didn't seem right or there was concern. And it emphasized more teamwork, the crew working together as a unit rather than just the captain barking out orders, and that the junior personnel just had to accept it because he's the one in charge. Now we'll go over the 5-step assertive process a first officer would use when using CRM, and this model helps subordinate personnel express concern. You have your opening attention getter, so you say Captain Smith, and you would state your concern. You express the issue directly while being respectful, and in this case, I said, I'm concerned we might have to divert because other aircraft at the destination airport are going missed on the ILS. You state the problem as you see it. For number 3, the destination airport's ATIS is reporting that ceiling and visibility are below the published instrument approach minimums. Then for step 4, you offer a solution. So let's proceed to our alternate airport. And you have an agreement or buy-in with the captain. Does that sound good to you, or do you agree? Now we have the pillars of CRM, which are the foundations of it. And those include decision making, assertiveness, mission planning, communication, situational awareness, leadership, monitoring / cross-checking, and understanding personal limitations. So decision making is the first one, also known as aeronautical decision making, which is decision making you make in the aircraft. And I like to use the decide model for this. You detect the need for a decision, you evaluate all options that best suit the goal, you choose the best outcome, you implement that choice, you detect the changes that have been made, and you evaluate it, and you need to make other decisions. And you just keep using that model over and over again until the desired outcome is met safely. And you make this process together as the captain, as the first officer. It's a flight crew environment, so work together. All right. Next up, we have assertiveness, which is the middle ground for both pilots. There's a balance in there for that. The captain has the ultimate authority, while at the same time respecting the first officer's position and input. However, it can also go the other way around. The captain has a loss of self or authority, making the first officer the ultimate authority in the cockpit. And you need to respect each other's positions without dominating the other. And what assertiveness does in a CRM environment, it does not challenge authority, it clarifies position, intent, and enhances flight safety to its maximum. Mission planning, and this begins before the flight even starts. The crew gets together, understands the parameters of mission. It helps everyone get on the same page, so to speak. You will know who will be the pilot flying, the pilot monitoring, and you understand who the captain and first officer are. You review your flight plan, review any policies that the airline might have or that the airport has in place. It helps you coordinate things as a crew beforehand. Communication. It fosters an environment where respectfully questioning authorities is encouraged for flight safety. And it just says if you speak up if you don't feel something is right. It doesn't just apply to the first officer. The captain can speak up as well if he doesn't feel something's right. Situational awareness. I define situational awareness as knowing what is going on in and around the aircraft at all times. And as a crew, there are some things you have to be aware of at all times, such as what is the weather doing? How is our route? Are we on course? Who's flying the plane? Who's speaking on the radios? And are the flight instruments reading correctly? And there's so much more that the crew has to be aware of when they're flying a plane. Leadership, it's the leader is the one who's in charge. And what makes a leader is someone whose ideas and actions who influence others, and it's accomplished via examples, persuasion, and understanding the goals as a whole. And what makes good CRM leadership is positive motivation, good decision making, coordinating the crew in a polite, professional way, and listening to their input. Monitoring and cross-checking is the other one. Monitor yourself, the other pilot, and other crew members. Verify that the crew environment is operating smoothly and with teamwork. Understanding one's limitations is very important. Let the captain or other pilot know if you feel he's exceeding aircraft or your own personal limitations. And as in monitoring, make sure you're not pressured by anyone in the cockpit to push past your limits. Why is CRM important? How it's helped aviation. It has saved lives, promotes teamwork, reduces accidents and errors, changes behavior, shares knowledge, provides input from all the crew, and helps the crew get on the same page. This concludes my presentation. I hope you have all enjoyed it and learned a lot about CRM.